think it's all time and circumstance. You know, obviously, I think it's public knowledge at this point that Max's name was floated out there in these last couple weeks. I have a ton of respect for Max Holloway, not just because he is a bad mofo, but he dubbed it the blessed man forever. You know, and Max is the epitome of a guy who says, "Hey, I am the guy who will stand in the middle of an octagon, point to the center, and throw hands until one of us goes unconscious. But also, I'm a good dude." So I got a ton of respect for him. I would love to compete against him. I guess it's up to the court of public opinion whether or not I am a BMF caliber guy. I have my opinions. I think I am, and I would love to share the octagon with Max at some point in my career.
And well, you know, the fight with Conor obviously didn't happen at 303. Do you feel like it's a blessing in disguise? Because obviously things happen for a reason. And you know, can you talk to me a little bit about your faith through this like 2 years?
Yeah, I mean, my life has been a constant up and down of if a bad thing happens to you, but a good thing comes from it, was it really a bad thing? And I think that is one of the storylines of this whole booking and falling apart and fake date back in December and fake date back in October and all the different. This fight's been talked about and rumored for just about every month of the 12 month calendar at some point over the last year and a half. But I've enjoyed being the guy who gets the darts thrown at him and just keeps on moving forward. Because the way that I react and the way that I respond says so much more about me than it does the words on social media or the words that are written in the media. And like I said, I'm running my own race, and watch it all work out, and watch it all work out in a spectacular fashion. And I'm not going to say I told you so. I'm just going to keep on moving forward, and you guys can say I told you so for me.
And did you see Eddie Alvarez, his tweet? He was like, "I want to save the day" after Conor pulled out. Did you see that?
I think I did. I mean, obviously, Eddie and I have a little bit of history, and I got a ton of respect for Eddie. He's one of the good ones in the sport, and one of the most entertaining guys that we have seen grace the octagon or any cage around the world. You never know what's going to happen. It was interesting. Obviously, Eddie is not signed with the UFC, but as I said, keep the options open. But we know what the number one option is.
Just over here. You mentioned obviously names like Max Holloway and the dates of September and October. But have you given yourself like a timeline that if it gets to a certain point that you'll start to accept maybe a fight with someone like Max Holloway?
I think we'll know a lot in the next week or so. I think we'll know a lot in the next week or two, how some things are going to play out. Once again, time and circumstance. Everything changes with time and circumstance. I think I've gotten that question over the last year. Excuse me. Over the last year, you know, timeline. Hey, is there a certain date? When do you pull the plug? When do you insert catchphrase here? And I haven't really thought about it, but I know that some information is going to be coming my way very soon, and we'll figure it out.
And do you have any regrets about kind of waiting so long and not taking a fight first and then probably, waiting? Is there any regrets?
No regrets, because I still say I had enough reassurances behind the scenes, conversations that you guys will never hear about, assurances that you guys have never heard or will have heard about. There's so much going on behind the scenes that is not public knowledge. And once again, I've never been offered another opponent throughout the entire process. Had I, then I would have had decisions to make. But this is the fight to make. It's Chandler versus McGregor. And so I don't have any regrets. But it makes a lot of sense why people would ask that question, or why people would be surprised that I would have no regrets.
Hey, Mike. Is ring rust a concern for when you do get back in the octagon, regardless of whether it's against Conor or anyone else?
No, I truly believe that I've been aging backwards for about the last 5 years. I'm 38 years old. I think that surprises a lot of people. As I just said, it's not just words when I say this was the best camp that I have had. Felt great. I honestly think the funny thing is time off helped me helped me recover my body, but it also, I think it broke some bad habits that I had. The bad habits that a lot of you guys could probably point to in the UFC runs thus far for me, those habits were not there because I took a little bit of time off, pulled myself out of the sport for the better part of a year, and then got back into camp, and all of a sudden I felt like a new fighter. So ring rust is not a concern of mine. I mean, I think fighting Conor is different than fighting anybody else when it comes to the size of the event, the aura of the event. So whether I'd been off, 2 months or 12 months or 22 months, it's going to be a different fight no matter what because of what he brings to the octagon, or the eyeballs and the feeling inside the octagon.
One quick random, I had never heard of hanging toe syndrome. Is that a
Is it
random
true?
fact in your head?
Are you Googling it? Are you Googling it
No,
right
I
now?
wondered, did you Google
I did
that when you
Google
looked
it.
up the severity?
I looked at my wife. I said, "Hey, sweetie, isn't there a thing where people's pinky toe doesn't touch the ground?" She's like, "I don't know what you're talking about." She's a doctor. She's like, "I don't really know what you're talking about." There's maybe it's not an actual real medical term, but I Googled it, and I think it's called hanging toe syndrome. Well, he's got it.
Also known as floppy toe.
Floppy toe. All right. So I think it's my brother or somebody. I've definitely been around some people before where their pinky toe doesn't touch the ground, and it's not a deformity or anything. It's completely normal. It's fine. But it was just kind of a joke that I made. And as I said, I think you saw my tweet right after. I mean, no hard feelings. My heart is full. I'll see you soon. That's how it is. That man's putting his life on the line, training every single day, just like I am. And whether he should not have, or whether I would have still fought without it or not, it's neither here nor there.